Yeah, baby, this is what we've been waiting for. When I did my stream yesterday wondering when Model Y prices would drop, Tesla must have seen it or something, because we got the biggest price cuts across the sexy lineup today, and what a fantastic way to kick off the year. I'm happily wrong in this situation, okay? I did not think you could get price cuts like this unless you lived in China, but this change is like everything. Probably gonna change delivery expectations, probably gonna create another backlog depending on how many vehicles Tesla is capable of building, but wow, what a bargain across the board. And my apologies to people who were paying yesterday's prices. This is probably gonna hurt a little bit. But the most exciting one to me is the Model Y. This is Tesla's bestseller. This is what most people want to get. They dropped $13,000 basically off of every Model Y trim, and of course are advertising the $7,500 federal tax credit that qualifies till March. So before, the 5-seater Model Y was too expensive, didn't qualify for the credit. Now basically every Tesla Model 3 and Y qualifies for this new credit, which is amazing. So this means that the dual motor long range Model Y with 330 miles of range now starts at $53,000, definitely undercutting a lot of its competitors and definitely outperforming them both in efficiency and charging network. And that's just an incredible deal when just yesterday I was looking at the website and it was 66 grand. Even the Model Y Performance got a massive cut down to $57,000 now, which is less than what they were charging yesterday for the standard range all-wheel drive Model Y. Such a massive drop in price. It's incredible. And even the 4680 Model Y, even though it was not added to the configurator yet, they did slash the prices on it drastically, so they don't seem to have any in inventory of the base configuration. They always have one little add-on for it, but basically similar to the last pricing structure, you can now find brand new Model Ys with the structural battery pack for $51,000, which is just incredible. That's before the federal tax credit. Once you accompany that, we're talking sub $45,000 for the Model Y, which is great. Model 3 didn't get as massive price cuts, but definitely bigger if you're more interested in the all-wheel drive versions. So despite these massive price cuts, they still have not reintroduced the Model 3 long range to the configurator, but you can still find them in existing inventory, and I was able to find some Model 3 long ranges. They're starting at $50K now. They were $58,000 yesterday, now $50,000, and that means it definitely qualifies for the federal tax credit. So again, we're talking sub $45,000 for an electric vehicle with an over 350 mile range, plus supercharging access. So if you're able to find any long-range dual-motor Model 3s in existing inventory, those things are just an incredible bargain now in the EV community. But the Model 3 Performance you can still order on the website. That's only $54,000 now, which is a basically $9,000 price reduction. So once again, qualifies for the tax credit, meaning that after potential savings, this is like a $45,000 vehicle that can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Like, I can't recall any time in history when Teslas have been more competitively priced. And even my vehicle, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, did get a little bit of a price cut, but this one was kind of the most lackluster. $3,000 drop, which is pretty good, but just about a year ago, they raised the price on it by $2,000, so couple it with the tax credit, it's definitely cheaper than it was when I ordered it, but if we're just talking the upfront price, it's about what it costed a year ago. But again, factoring in that tax credit, which only qualifies up till March, this is like a $37,000 vehicle, which is way better than what all of us were paying last year for our Model 3s. And Tesla, even though they're not trying to qualify for the federal tax credit, dropped prices on the Model S and X as well by about $10,000. So thankfully, once again, the Model S long range with over 400 miles of range now starts at $95,000, which is still a lot, but definitely more competitive than it was before. And the Plaid Model S is only $115,000 now, which is a pretty massive cut considering yesterday it was, you know, like 130 or something, way higher. So not a very high volume vehicle, but definitely a lot more competitive with $15,000 knocked off the price and the full steering wheel option now as well. The Tesla Model X, which is my dream vehicle, also got a bit of a price reduction, now starting at $110,000, which, yeah, that's still, you know, pretty up there, but yesterday it was like $121,000, so hey, that's $11,000 price cut right there. Plaid Model X also has dropped down to $120,000, even though yesterday it was like $135,000 or so. And personally, like, I couldn't be happier with this announcement. Like, I love my vehicle, and I've always been saying that I want prices to drop so that more people can experience what I've experienced with my car, and this just opens opens up the gate of affordability to so many people. This morning, I've been reading tweets and people in Discord telling me who's been ordering Teslas now, and there's just been a huge influx of interest. And I think it's justified because I don't think there was really that much wrong with the products themselves. Yeah, it sucks that the new cars don't have ultrasonic sensors and park assist. Hopefully they roll out the software update for the occupancy network soon, but overall, I don't find that a deal breaker at all for the vehicle. And the fact that you can get the tax credit with these low prices, which we've had Tesla prices this low before, you know, back in 2019, there was a $35,000 Model 3, and back in 2020, you could get a long-range Model Y for $50,000, but they didn't qualify for the tax credit back then. So it's just so inspiring and so encouraging to me now to be able to say Tesla prices essentially have never been lower, at least for the Model Y, but that's the one I think most people have interest in. And it's just been so many years of Tesla knowing that they have the best product on the market and raising prices because they know we're gonna pay it, and just those prices kept going up and up and up, and it felt like years had gone by of just me saying Tesla has increased prices, Tesla has increased prices, and it was starting to get really sad. And I know exactly what it feels like to be saving up for your dream car and for the price to just get worse over time. To finally be able to make a video again talking about massive price cuts is so uplifting, and I do think that Tesla is likely going to experience much smaller profit margins on these vehicles, you know? And I'm okay with that personally. It doesn't make me doubtful for the company. Some people are worried that Tesla's going to be losing money on these vehicles. Personally, I think the margins were so good that they're not actually losing money on them yet. I think that they just have thinner margins than before, but because they're delivering more vehicles than ever before, they can accept that. And I know how much cash Tesla has in the bank, and I know that they're likely going to be able to rake in a lot of full self-driving revenue with FSD beta going to wide release and all of the great perks of premium connectivity, you know, with streaming Apple Music now and Zoom call support. Like, they're going to be banking in on software services, and that means that they can comfortably lower prices to be way more competitive than everybody else. So I'm imagining Legacy Auto right now is probably very, very nervous, as is Lucid as well. And this gives me even more hope that with the installation of the 9,000-ton Gigapress at Giga Texas, that now that the Model S starts at $95,000, maybe the Cybertruck can be reasonably priced too. I really hope so. Trying not to get my expectations out of order, but I'm curious if you guys think, are these prices going to stay this low throughout the year? Or do you think Tesla is going to accommodate for the federal tax credit, not necessarily qualifying anymore come March? Then they might only get half of the tax credit based on where the battery materials were mined, and we still don't have concrete data on that. But it's pretty likely that the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, you know, the cheapest Tesla, that has lithium iron phosphate, which we know is not being manufactured in the United States. There's a decent chance that's not going to get the full tax credit at all come March, so Tesla could decide to keep prices the same, or they could raise them up a little bit to say, well, again, you're not getting that tax credit anymore, so it's really the same price as before. But it just makes me so happy to see Tesla just finally admit that we don't need to have the thickest profit margins in the world, and I can't wait to see what this does for their delivery numbers, and I hope more and more people can make the switch to electric now and feel confident that they're going to have a consistent, reliable charging network with a wonderful vehicle with a ton of storage space and software that just brings a smile to your face. So thank you, Tesla, so much for these massive price cuts, and congratulations to everybody who's yet to order one, and my condolences to everybody who already took delivery. Although it appears if you were pending delivery on your vehicle, they're already applying this discount, which is a good idea. So that prevents a lot of last-minute cancellations. So thanks again to all of our Patreon members for supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. Thanks again, and have an excellent rest of your day.